Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to Singapore Prime.
So, we have. Yesterday we ended off. Well, yesterday, it was actually this morning. We ended off getting Singapore Prime formed, as well as achieving and then immediately losing great power status. Now, one thing that I did find interesting is if you look at the great power list, you can see that I actually have a larger point value. I have a higher rating than I have development. And the reason for that is because my technology costs are actually lower than the Westerners. So if you look at these guys are at full tech, right? England is at full tech, Castile is at full tech, France, etc. I'm at full tech in addition to having no piety. And since I have 0 piety as an Islamic nation, it means that I have a dramatically higher tech cost. So that's pretty cool. And it's just interesting. And I think, if I had to guess, I'd guess that this only affects my own development, and that my subject's development doesn't get that bonus. So I can make states, and I have to decide whether I actually want to do so, because that's one thing that I haven't been really doing. I do feel like I've been a bit lazy, to be perfectly honest. Been kind of slow and lazy. I'm not sure whether my slow, lazy play has been optimal or not, because it turns out that when you're playing a game like this, you're very limited by your power ratings. I don't feel like I wasted a lot of diplomatic power. I think I did the right thing with my diplomatic power. And the same is pretty much true with my administrative tech. I think that getting 2 idea groups is important, and I think that getting Renaissance is important. If I didn't have Renaissance, then I'd be in for a bad time. Now, that said, it's entirely possible that I could have done it a little more effectively. And why? Colony population of 400, okay. It used to be that you got this, very quickly. So colonizing this is going to just take a little bit longer, but that's fine. What else is there? I think that's about it. I don't have to worry about too much. So the other thing is that basically I might have to restart if I feel like I've gotten a really weak start. But this is a strong enough start that forming Malaya won't be a problem at the very least. I just really enjoy the concept of this run, and it gives me it doesn't necessarily give me an achievement to do, because I already have the World Conquest achievement. But doing a World Conquest off of this, I think, would be a lot of fun to do, and I like the idea. So, anyway, we'll just have to see. Now, I have some states that I can form, and there's a lot of states that I have 1 territory in. How much do we have in terms of states? Where can I see how many states I have available? So one of the things that I need to do is I need to start collecting substantially more. I need to get Central and East Java conquered. So I need to, either annex these guys or vassalize them. The Kalimantan I need to get dealt with. This is already made a state. Kutai is a state. So I think I am going to make a state out of this, because why not? Okay, let's do this. Boom. Let's try and core this. And again, I don't intend to attack Brunei right now. Let's go ahead and do this as well, actually. Ooh, this is a big one. Okay, so that's going to be... Those are worth a substantial amount of increased stuff. I should have waited probably until I had the ability to core some of that. Okay, so who is demanding control? Just the Ulema? So since the Ulema is demanding control of that, I want to put them in some place that has unrest, but nobody really has unrest right now. I'm going to go ahead and chuck them over here. I'm not going to chuck them over here. That is very interesting. By founding these things as states, they immediately cause the states to demand some control there, despite the fact that I can't give them control. So we're going to go ahead and do this. One thing that might be fun is to try and do a no estate power run, where you do not give the estates any power or control over anything. You just don't give them any territory, and try to work around their, unhappiness in other ways. Because if you keep them weak enough, I think that they have a difficult time doing too much. So Ning just announced me as a rival, and that's trouble. Because Sepasay just broke their alliance with Kasa. Ooh! So Kasa is no longer allied to them. Kedah is no longer allied to them. So they're allied with Brunei and these other guys. Pretender rebels, I don't care about who's on the throne. All I care about is what have you done for me lately? Okay, we are going to drop a spy network over here. And we're going to drop a spy network in Brunei. One of the issues with my pronunciation of oh god, that's bad. Ming is threatening my trade, which is not healthy at all. What was it saying? Son of a bitch. Increased in autonomy is better than losing. This stuff. Let's get a proper core. And let's see, my military power is on the rise. I'm almost to rank 8, and at rank 8 my cavalry get a big bonus, and so do my infantry. So the question here is, at this point, is this the correct time to go after the Psy? Or is it the right time to go after somebody else? These guys here are smaller than Pasai and have no allies. And I lose some piety. Well, I gain some piety, which is, for me, is basically losing piety. And if I do this conquest, then that would be good. How hard would it be? I don't think that I want to just sit and wait on Sunda. as a vassal. Like, I don't want to do that. So here is the really big question. For Liberty Desire, what are we sitting at? Sunda's sitting at 20%. 31% coming from all vassals' relative power. And Singapore Prime I don't think counts as a vassal. They're completely separate. They use a different calculation. So if I do this and basically vassalize these guys, then this will start to rise. But I'm going to be getting diplomatic technology now, and I should be getting diplomatic technology faster than these people are. So I should at some point be able to catch up to them, and I think that that's what I want to do. Is if I can take these guys out, just vassalize this state here, that will make things dramatically simpler for me. So do I have... Because I could have far more claims here than I actually do. Okay, I'm going to bring my troops over before I declare war, but I am in fact going to just go after these guys. There's really no reason to go after Pasai right now. Pasai and Brunei are allied together, and what I'd much rather do is just solidify my control over here. I have enough mobility, right? Yeah, I should have enough mobility to not have a penalty there. So we're waiting on Sunda to be configurable, so to speak. And we're not going to be going in here to sort of annex land if we can avoid it. Our goal is just to vassalize. If we have both of these as vassals, and we have these two as allies, pretty much everyone in the region is going to have a very difficult time attacking us. And at that point, if we go in against Pasai and Brunei and people like that, we actually will have a very easy time just smacking them around. This also reduces the total number of people that can actually attack us, which is always convenient. That said, if our vassals decide to be disobedient, it could cause a whole different type of issue. So we're waiting until the 1st. There we go. That's good enough. We don't need a huge amount. We just need to have enough to do this. So I could call Brunei into this war, and honestly, I don't really see any reason not to. But I also don't really see any reason to do so. So I think I'd rather use my favors with them to... Singapore Prime and Kunda are jumping in on this. I'm going to go ahead and... Who's their capital's all the way over there. So... because we have vassals to do our dirty work for us, we should have a reasonably easy time dealing with this. So they're going to go ahead and carpet siege this territory, which is unfortunate, but you know, what are you going to do? Banjar, we can go ahead and start mooring. Oh, right, I didn't actually get pike and shot. Maybe I should do that. So this gives us pretty big military bonus. And Brunei is kind of a powerhouse right now. Like, when it comes to military technology, they've been... Ooh, Aora grew to become self-sustaining. Oh, the other thing that I need to do... Oh god, I completely forgot about this. I need to get a explorer, because I'm not exploring right now. Let's put someone over here, I guess. Tuvahu seems like a good choice for right now. And I'm going to create a fleet off of these guys. Oh, I can't create a new unit because they're too far away. Maybe not. Okay, create a new unit. Select this unit. Okay. Need to go into a port. Do this for whatever reason. Now, I think that my vassals have dealt with the enemy navy and kind of betting on that. So Southwest Pacific. How about Southeast Pacific? That's what we're looking for. So if we can get to the Southeast Pacific, the goal here is to find South America before the year 1500. If we have found South America, I did check, Australia does not count as New World, because it's just too close to the Old World, right? People had a vague idea of its existence, presumably, that were living in this region. The Western world might not have known about it, but that's beside the point. Old World refers to all of this, whereas North and South America were unknown to everyone in the Old World, not just, the Europeans. So, anyway, so this counts as Old World, which means that we need to actually find the New World if we want to have a chance of spawning colonialism. And if we do manage to spawn colonialism, it will dramatically impact our lives. As soon as we have colonialism, it will mean that colonialism is kind of locked to us, and virtually nobody has access to it. So if we can prevent Portugal and Spain from forming colonial nations, they have no way of getting it to Europe in the first place. If they do form colonial nations, it will spread there very quickly. So it just depends on whether they already have colonial nations at this point, and all that jazz. That said, a colonial nation isn't required to spawn it. What's required to spawn it is just that you have that you've seen the New World. Like, you have to have quest for the New World and you've seen the New World. But in order to embrace it as someone who didn't spawn it in the first place, you need to do more cool stuff. So, I could go after their army, and I think that's what I want to do. We'll cross a river, but we have higher mobility, so that doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just gonna try and... I don't really want to fight them in the jungle, if possible. But it doesn't look like I have a choice, because they're just gonna go stand on the capital. So... that's fine. We should win this fight. Have a little bit of an advantage over them. So we should be able to vassalize them in this war, right? I cannot! I need 1% extra. God damn it. Oh man, that changes everything. I knew I should have done more there. Okay, so we've explored that region. Unfortunately, we didn't explore far enough. So, there we go. Conquer Bathok. Okay, I'm getting improve our prestige again. So why do we have negative 42% there? I'm just gonna send these guys down here. Wipe out the enemy fleet. Yikes. Did I just take out a loan? What? If I took out a loan, then why do I not have any money? That doesn't make any sense. I think I took a loan to repay a loan. Now, we are going to have to deal with some serious inflation right now. Where is the port here? Oh, it's on that side. Okay, so... So once this finishes, or we have access to longer ranges, we will be in good shape. So Southwest Pacific. I don't want national unrest because I'm about to take a bunch of territory. And when you're taking territory, really want that naval ambitions. Okay, we just won this siege, which means that we can do whatever we damn well please with them. Let's figure out... what we're gonna do. We can make them a vassal. Okay, so by doing something, we managed to get ourselves to the point where we can turn them into a vassal. Okay, so let's take a look here. This is going to require a little bit more. Let's take Bali, and then that'll allow us to convert them to a vassal. So this navy is going to Bali, I think. And it looks like now we can turn them into a vassal. So there we go. They are officially vassalized. And let's take a look. God damn it. You're at 100. I don't like it. I forgot about this. This is a serious issue because we need them to be below 100. So if we drop it by 10%, that's not going to be enough. The key is that Ming is one of our rivals. So since Ming is a rival, placating local rulers doesn't actually do everything that we need. So we can't send anybody to them yet. I'm not going to placate local rulers unless it's actually going to do the job that I needed to do, which is protect me from Ming intervention. So we really do not want Ming intervening over here. And like, how are these people setting me as rivals? This is crazy. Ming is way too big to be able to justify this. Okay, what does Influence Nation do? That's interesting. Didn't really impact their opinion of us at all. So we're basically trying to, as quickly as humanly possible, get our relations with them to where they need to be. You know, they might not be able to... I think I might be over... like worrying about this excessively. I actually shouldn't have bothered coring these with proper cores. I probably should have just given them to my vassal. So Sunda is now sitting on 52% Liberty Desire, which is a perfectly acceptable amount of Liberty Desire for them to have because they don't have good enough, they don't have high enough affection for us to actually annex anyway. I need to wait a long time before I'm going to be able to annex them. You can see that our relations with them are plus 182, but they only have 80. We have to wait for all of these modifiers to just go away. So, let's see. Aggressive expansion, declared war. So, we have a bunch of stuff. But, we now have these guys as a pair of vassals over here. I don't need to expand any further because I don't have the ability to do much here. We did lose all that diplomatic power in the process there. Which means that naval ambitions is going to take longer. So I might have just screwed over my ability to spawn the colonial stuff. Oh, maybe I should actually start accruing money, shall we? Let's protect trade in Malacca. So we haven't explored this area yet, but we should soon have the ability to explore further east than we have in the past. Law and order needs to be preserved. Let's deal with this nonsense. So Pasai now has a rank 8 military. Damn it. I don't like that. Doesn't really make a huge difference though. Alright, so these guys and these guys are both. So my economic base compared to Kedah is now reaching the point where I can actually, if these guys lose their army somehow, then I'll be in okay shape, I think. Am I a great power again or something? No. Oh! So, we are officially on the list of great powers. Austria has fallen off the list of great powers, and we're, you know, snaking up toward Poland right now. Which is good. But yeah, I don't think that we're going to be the ones to spawn the colonialism thing, because we're not going to discover the New World in time. If I had actually moved faster and gotten to New Caledonia the second I could, and gone from New Caledonia and gotten into one of these islands, rather than focusing so much effort on trying to get this colony, I was kind of playing it safe to an extent. I wanted to make sure that I had the ability to get something, because if I get all the way to the New World and then Portugal gets quest for the New World, that doesn't help me any. Being at the New World is only useful if I get lucky and spawn it. So, anything to explore? Nope. Okay. Now, one thing that we have as a serious issue here is that we do have a financial situation that is not good. I am going to fire this guy, because... or maybe I'll just not replace him. Shit. Damn, this is 2 sultans in a row who have gotten sick. Now here's a question, do I actually need... Ooh! I like it. Look at that. All that bonus tech. I'm not sure what I want to do here. I could set Brunei as a rival, but I don't think that they make a good rival. And Ming really makes a terrible option for a rival. I'm not going to be able to... I can't rival Ming. Like, they're not an option. I'm not going to be able to fight Ming. But I guess since they did set me as a rival, I guess I'm the only person that in the region who is a viable rival for them for whatever reason. So I'm just gonna set Ming as rival because there's not really a lot I can do in terms of rivalries. So we're collecting 4 from this node. And it was my diplomatic guy died. means that he needs to be replaced. I can't afford to not have a diplomatic guy. Because I need to be pumping up my Diplotech, because I need to get my colonialism game started in earnest. I do think once I start getting more of these guys annexed, it's gonna help my finances by a considerable margin. Okay, so let's just start fabricating claims here. So where are we? So this will be done reasonably soon. Got 75 a year just from this, plus an extra how much? Plus an extra 84 per year. So we're looking at 150 people per year on average, but it's not going to be done before 1500. So we're not going to be getting that there. Okay, so organize recruitment. Okay, so Singapore Prime continues growing. Interesting. Surabaya is situated on the border between adherents of Hinduism and Islam. In this area, marked by religious tension and differences, a man named Nanak has started to preach that there is no Hindu or Muslim, but that the truth is with God, who is neither. Although his rejection of ancient customs has outraged devoted Sunni believers, Nanak's disregard for caste and creed has allowed his teachings to take root among the population. His disciples are known as Sikhs and are spreading the new faith rapidly through Surabaya. So Surabaya is now a religious center and is going to be very difficult to convert, but that's okay because luckily we have a very high tolerance of heathens right now. We need higher legitimacy in order to get this set properly. Why is my piety so high? It's weird. But yeah, we're definitely going to need to get these guys below 100% before they, son of a bitch. Oh my god. Ugh, these leaders. Shit, I don't have anybody forming a colony over here. I'm debating whether I want to continue colonizing over there or whether I want to colonize over here. Or in the Philippines or something. Honestly, I think I just want to keep pumping up colonial Australia as best as I can. Because colonial Australia will be an entirely separate subservient nation that I have access to. And being able to call them into my wars is kind of a big deal. So what are we going to get? Can't get the 13, can't get the 9. Alright, well, let's just grab this for now, I guess. And we will eventually have the income necessary to... So what is my inflation at right now? My inflation's really high. I've just been spending a lot of money. A huge amount of money. God damn you. That sucks. Ooh, better relations over time is important. You're not allowed to die. So 2% inflation increases the cost of everything by 2%. Whoa! Treasure fleet from Singapore Prime. Cha-ching! Okay, so we're set here. We can get better relations over time. That will dramatically help us out here because it's going to reduce, or sorry, it's going to increase the rate at which things like aggressive expansion deteriorate, which is really great. In addition, it is going to improve how quickly we get the improved relations modifier. So let's take a look here. These guys are at 100. And they should get below 100 very soon. How long do we have this truce for? Very long time. That truce is going to last an eternity. So, I think I might be able to start annexing these guys soon. I'm going to start improving relations with them. Because if I can annex them, it'll make my life substantially easier. So we are almost to the year 1500. Which is good. I have 3 loans right now. If I want, I can reduce inflation. That treasure fleet is very nice. So we're now ahead of Poland. We're actually catching up to France, which is pretty cool. Of course, we're not catching up to a big blue blob France, but we're catching up to the France that actually exists. So it'll take about 2 years for us to trigger this. Yeah, I think that New Zealand will work as a sort of like baseline area, a staging ground to get to where we're going. And once we can get to South America, we can start just heavily pushing our way into there. Good. Liberty Desire has dropped below 100%, and we aren't even close to having trouble. So we're at 115. And there's really not a lot we can do right now. So we're going to get 5 per year. We can use the Great Power Influence and see, what else can we do? We can send a gift, but we don't need to. It's not really time sensitive. Okay, let's order the guard to intervene, get ourselves some nice piety drops. I think I might need to fire this guy. Honestly, if I fire this guy, I will have a positive income. And I don't really need my military. Oh my god, these explorers! They're just dying constantly. Interesting. I think the problem is that my legitimacy is low. So soon does Liberty Desire increase by 10%. What impact does that have? Like, how long does that last? Let's see. Because I can... You know what, this will go away eventually. I'm not worried about it. That's not a huge amount of stuff. It's better to just not worry about it. Because losing legitimacy when you're already low on legitimacy is not a winning proposition. It really sucks that I ended up with my heir dying. Because my heir dying resulted in me getting this completely useless guy as my ruler. He doesn't have good stats, and he's an embezzler now. Khmer wants to hire a condottiere. I think that it's time to rent our people out as condottieri. It's weird. Why does it say no land access to capital? I have an alliance with these guys, and they're at war with these guys. So I do have land access to their capital. Oh! I think I just need to move the army. Because of this strait, maybe? So let's see if... Because if I could make 10 gold per day... No. No land access to capital. I don't understand this. Okay, I'm gonna find out what this does. So, no land access to capital. So renting from. So you have to have military access all the way to wherever you're trying to get to, which is interesting. I should have military access here. Okay, so I'm just going to ask for military access from Patani, and let's see if that fixes this. Yes, that fixes the problem. So I cannot do it if I do this. Chimera cannot afford to pay the money, so if you can't afford to pay me, then why are we getting the thing? It shouldn't say yes when they can't do it. I think this is worth it, though. I can do this. They immediately pay me a bunch of money, which I can use to start paying off my loans. So let's... repay the loan that's going to expire the fastest. Now we're going to charge in. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start splitting... Oh, I can't split the army. Okay, so merchants are reporting an increased influx of goods. It seems entirely alien to them. These exotic goods are brought by travelers who claim to have met strange men from afar. While it's hard to know what to make of such rumors, these men are convinced our world is now changing fundamentally, and these strangers are bringers of bad fortune. So the birth of colonialism happened. I do not believe it was birthed here. So let's take a look here. Currently stalled. Okay, so that's important to know, is that colonial nations in Australia do not count. So I need to get all the way... So forming colonial... Damn it. Forming Australia does not help me to accomplish my objectives. So that sucks. That really, really sucks. That changes everything. If Australia doesn't count, give me a second. Because on the list, it doesn't specify that your colonial nations have to be New World. It just specifies that you need a colonial nation, and all of them except Australia happen to be New World. So... Okay, so that is unfortunate. So that means that I am going to have to... There we go. And of course this guy died off. God. You know, I've made some misplays here, but I have had some really, really crappy luck as well. I have spent, I think, 250 diplomatic power just on explorers in the last 50 years of the game. Not even 50. Like, in the last less than 50 years of the game, I have spent so much diplomatic power just on explorers. So Ayutthaya is just chilling. And we've got our condottieri here. This is great. I love it. Condottieri is just like such an awesome idea for a mechanic. I'm so happy that they implemented it. Because it's just so cool. So it looks like we're going to need to go to Ayutthaya. If we can take Ayutthaya, which is sort of up in the air, I don't actually know if we can or not. It's -70? Yeah, that's going to happen, sure. If we can just siege this down, there's the possibility of our people enjoying things. So how happy are our peeps with our performance thus far? The problem is that these guys are not actually, like, they're not coming to defend their own territory, they're just wandering around over here. And since I can't, I guess I could get on a boat. But yeah, I still do not have access to North America from here. Or sorry, to South America from here. You know, I hope that my employer is happy with me, but I don't actually have any way of knowing when it's going to happen. On the plus side, we're getting a bunch of spoils of war. So we're actually, in addition to making the money from renting out the condottieri in the first place, we are also getting additional funds just from the fact that we're just sitting here stealing money. We also need to fund the next colonial expedition. Terra Incognita? Oh god, my explorer died. Oh, my life is pain. Is this outside of my range? 244. Let's just send somebody here. That explains why I'm making so much money. It's because I don't have one of my colonists available right now. Okay, so Dynasty of our blah 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 is certainly a powerful one, though Muhammad Shah, they rule our nation and will do so for many years to come. However, even the great are sometimes in need of help. Thankfully, the Bolkish family is tied strong bonds to their great powers, such as the Kedah house led by none other than Atullah Muhammad Shah I, Sultan of Kedah. Great powers. His gracious wife Azura is a daughter of our own noble royal house and an invaluable contact. Perhaps we can actually influence her husband to lend us aid. I don't think so. I wouldn't mind having our diplomats learn more from them. Why not? That's cool. Let's see what happens. I'm just like, oh my god, you guys are noobs. Nice. Finally, we've heard back from dearest Azura regarding our request for her husband. The most noble Sultan Achala Muhammad Shah I has decided to grant it. The reply was carried back by some of Keda's finest diplomats, who are here to teach our own representatives. A letter of thanks shall be sent immediately to the generous Sultan. Long may he reign. Excellent. So we are going to start improving relations with these guys. I think. Oh right, it's pretty close to max. I'm not sure how this war is going. Not well. Not well at all. And the problem is just that they don't have the navy to really make this a particularly threatening bid on their capital. What? Why would Singapore Prime insult us? They have a very positive opinion of us. Oh, this must have been a mistake. There are events where you get you accidentally, like through the idiocy of your leaders or your diplomats. Anyway, that you accidentally just send people diplomatic insults. Whoa! 200 in Taranaki. Which one's Taranaki? This one. Oh, wow, yeah, this is going to be finished soon. Okay, so we renewed one loan. How do we have too many diplomatic relations? I'm not going to worry about their nonsense. It's way too expensive. And there we go. We have access to professional soldiers now. We are not going to tick that up until we're about to get into a fight, but we will tick it up before we get into our next fight. Yeah, this is a good example of sort of like a learning experience from a standpoint of a lot of things, honestly. So one thing that's important here is that I could have used just a singular explorer to get almost all of the stuff done that I've gotten done. I don't need to have one all the time. I just need to have one that allows me to extend my colonization range. So, hoping that these guys last long enough, because this is at 7%. As soon as this ticks over, I can send my army in and just obliterate the Ayuthaian army. Who am I to stop them? It's gonna be expensive, isn't it? Idea cost minus 5%. Booyah. Alright, so let's tick this over. Yeah, it looks like it's a long, long way to go across the Pacific. Taranaki. And we are losing money. Is that out of colonies maintenance? Yeah, colony maintenance just skyrocketed because I put them in that new colony. Come here! God, you were about to finish. So Taranaki has just grown enough to become self-sustaining, which is great. Particularly great because it means that my colonial maintenance evens out to a more reasonable level. And they wanted to set out to where? So we just got a new colony somewhere, so let's take a look at where our colonies are. Is this the one that was formed? Yes. So this is the one that was just formed with no oversight. So let's send the guy here to finish that one off. Then we can worry about other stuff. That really sucks, though. You know, these guys, they're making my life hard as, you know, the condottieri. It's like, we've got their capital. We've got this in the bag. You can wait until you get to minus 100 because you're not going to get to that point. We're going to finish this. You know, it's all about resilience in the face of adversity. You have to wait for the soldiers who are coming to free you. The Society Islands. Yeah, this is gonna take forever. Hey, Hawaii! Does Hawaii count as New World? Probably not. We are getting there very, very slowly. So how is Colonial Australia doing anyway? Did I say Colonial Australia? I mean Singapore Prime. How's Singapore Prime doing? So Singapore Prime is getting their business done. I don't think that they're colonizing at all. I don't know that they can afford it. But yeah, we are getting there. It's just that it's gonna take a while. Gold Rush. Oh yeah. Okay, so what this means is that we can repay our loans, which means that we now have a positive influx of cash, and we can also 20 prestige, which gives us +1 stability. Finally. So, conquer Batak, turn Samoa into a city. $75 legitimacy, that's not likely. So we're just going to go ahead and turn Samoa into a city because it's going to happen anyway. So this is good. This is great. So Singapore Prime is starting to colonize on its own now. And they're doing it very slowly. You can see +6 per year. Yikes. Yeah, they do it at a quarter of the speed because they are a colonial nation, it looks like. What else are we going to do? So we're kind of just waiting until we get enough diplomatic tech. Now, we've got money. We could use that money to invest in things, and I think the things that we're going to invest in are barks. Let's create a template of... How many do we need? 8. This will cost me 150. Maintenance cost of 35. Okay, so this can be built down here. And the key is that trade ships pay for themselves. By controlling the trade waters, you basically get money that you otherwise wouldn't have, and overall the fleet will pay for itself. So you want to invest in them. It's kind of like investing in temples and things like that. At the same time, though, you want to make sure that you're not investing in them when you're about to get new ones, because if you're about to get new ones, then you're just gonna waste time. We are really behind on diplomatic tech. So I think if I was going to do this again, I might not take this last one here until later. And I might not even go all the way up to here. I might get the global settler increase, but ignore that. It just kind of depends. Because the key is that I need the range. Because I don't right now have the range to get to South America. And I'm still not even in... Like, it's 1505. And I still haven't gotten to where I need to be there. So let's do this. I can apparently form Polynesia. And I'm also not really sure what I would want to do. About certain things. Oh, goods produced. That's good. So I should have 250. Okay. So I'm thinking, and I'm thinking that I might want to restart. I think I could do this cleaner. I also think that we don't necessarily need because I've been using Diplo Annex. I use Diplo Annex over here. Is that the only thing that I've Diplo Annexed? It is. So that was about 400, which means that put us behind on diplomatic technology. That said, We've had some really crappy rulers so far. I think we could have improved things in a, variety of ways. I'm gonna send these guys to the Moluccas. Unfortunately, I think that they use a simplified version of that doesn't actually account for what percentage I'm going to accrue. So as an example, these guys are in the Moluccas, which is pushing trade forward. Alright, so colonial enthusiasm just expired. So we're about to get naval ambitions. Naval ambitions is a big one. If we get the first 4 of these without getting any of these, that's 1,200 that we could spend on range. And I think that that's probably better. So the basic strategy that I would use the next time, I almost always max out my ideas before I spend anything on the actual technologies, because increasing your ideas dramatically reduces the cost of the technology. So as you can see, I have minus 14% from that. So each idea is saving you. It's just money in the bank. But for this one, I'm in a rush to get specifically to colonial range plus 115. Let's see what this has impacted. We now have a massive amount of stuff, so let's look at Southeast Pacific Sea. Let's see what we've got here. If this is enough on its own to get me from, where am I now? From New Zealand. I don't think I have anything closer than New Zealand yet. Do I? I actually do. I have Tuvalu here. Tuvalu here may be closer. It kind of depends because the range is a little wonky. But if this allows me to see the coast, then I'm definitely going to want to restart this and do mad dash for the coast. Send base foes away. East of New Hebrides. More people means more taxes. So let's try this. We don't need to keep influencing them. So France is in a war that we can intervene in. So can we reach Argentina or anything like that? Well, here's Easter Island. Yeah, and this other one that I'm getting isn't actually that important either. This administrative thing that I'm getting is not massive. We have enough income now that we don't need to worry about this. We can go ahead and just take this guy, I guess. Nope, he's more expensive. Let's take this guy, he's cheaper. This is a very, very long trip. It's a way longer trip than it is for the Europeans. But that said, considering how far I've managed to get down here, and that's without Samoa. I'm gonna wait until we get Samoa and then we'll figure it out from there. I could colonize Hawaii from here. Nice, colony rush. So we have these two that are going to be finished soon. So that's the south. Let's see if we can do any better in the Northwest Pacific Sea. Northeast Pacific Sea, rather. Yeah, let's go east, not west. See if we can run into Mexico or something. We must curb such excesses. National unrest -2. They like it. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I think I want to get to Hawaii if I can. Yeah, one of the big keys here is that this is actually very cheap to do. I could do this very early on if I didn't invest all the way through this idea chain. If I just invest in these 4 and I don't worry about the extra colonists until after I have the ability to get to the Americas, it'll help me out a lot, because I don't really get a huge amount of benefit from extra colonists, because I'm just trying to get one guy going in the right direction for most of this period. So expansion is good. I like the global settler increase. And that's about it, honestly. That's just about the only thing that I care about. So I might want to go with something other than expansion as my first option here. I'm not sure what I would go with, honestly, because it can't be from this tree. But it could be... Excuse me, it could be a military idea. I guarantee you if that was unintentional, they're still allied with me. So... I do like how there's this immediate response of, oh, those filthy cowards, how dare they insult me, and then you have to think, oh wait, that they probably just screwed up. That looks like coast to me. Okay, good. With this technology, we can reach the Americas. So we need rank 7 diplomatic technology, and we need to have the plus 50% colonial range, and we can reach that's Central America or is that South America? I don't actually know. So that's good. That's very good. And we can reach there from pretty far away. We're like all the way down here or something. And if we are going that direction, we might want to just bypass. I'm not going to put this colonist in yet. I want to finish exploring so that I can do the coast up here. And then we can... This is the Gulf of Catalina. I think we're going to need to go to Hawaii first. I'm going to send people to Hawaii. So I think that if we colonize Hawaii, we can then make the jump straight from Hawaii over here. So the goal is pretty much just to get to Hawaii. So getting to Hawaii, I think that the best way to do that is probably... We can go through Manila because Manila is really rewarding. And then I think what I want to do, honestly, doing all this stuff in Australia has not really been very rewarding for me. I haven't really gotten a lot out of it. Going down here was fine, but not really that important. I could have just as easily gone around in other directions. And for instance, you know, Brunei here, if they're allied with someone else around here, I don't actually need Casus Belli to go in on Brunei. Because I'll be able to declare war on them through one of their allies. And just take one province and then I can do whatever I want. So what we're looking for now is for our exploration team to come back. And, oh, this is really far north. So this is like California. We're finding North America before we find South America. You know, it doesn't occur to me just how far South America is to the east compared to the west coast of North America. I'm gonna have to look on a map at some point. Because, yeah, we've got the coastline here. And we don't got coastline down here. So, if we can go through Hawaii, I think we can get there. So all of my additional colonists, and I think I will just spam colonists anyway, but all of my additional colonists are going to be, I think, spent in the Philippines. Rather than doing it the way that I did do it, I would spend all my colonists in the Philippines. And, let's see. Southeast Pacific Coast? That's weird. I can't search the coast up here. So Southeast Pacific Coast is going to give me stuff like Easter Island, I guess. And yeah, Australia is not really a major issue for me. I can create Singapore Prime eventually. Without worrying too much. And if I can reach the coast right now, I'll definitely be able to reach, like, to be able to actually just colonize over here as soon as Hawaii finishes. So the goal has to be then to get through Hawaii. Administrative technology. Okay, let's do this because we're actually going to be spending points on this at some point. Oh my god, never mind. Never mind. Okay. So we've got Rapa Nui here. Wow. That sucks hard. Okay. So I think I have a pretty solid idea of what I want to do here. It's 3 o'clock. I have some stuff that I need to get done around the house. So I think I'm going to end it here for now, and next time I'm going to sort of solidify my exact strategy. I'm probably going to go island hopping, use my first colonist to do exclusively island hopping, so just go here and then, go to Palau, and then from Palau just head as far east as possible from Palau, right, maybe the Marshall Islands or whatever, and basically just hop my way to the east. Once I've done that, and once I have a second colonist, I don't need to push the envelope with the second colonist. The second colonist can then start spending time over here, just sort of filling stuff in. We've got a lot of territory to fill in here, and I think it'll be very valuable to do so. We just need to make sure that we don't go all the way up to here, which would allow Ming to attack us. That said, once we get access to Ryukyu, we can go into Japan, and that'll be good. But that's a more long-term concern. So I think that my opening gambit won't change a huge amount. I'm still going to do this gambit here, definitely. And I might, once I hit, I might start using some administrative power once I get Renaissance, but I'm not positive. I don't really need the second idea group as quickly as I got it. The second idea group was cool, and it gave me an additional colonist, but that additional colonist cost me quite a lot of administrative power to accomplish. And I just don't know how high the utility was there. So anyway, so I'm gonna try to do that. I think I'm gonna let this game run for a little longer off stream, because you guys don't need to watch me just sit here and see if I can get into California. But because basically being able to know what I'll get out of Hawaii, like how far I can get, which locations I can go to, will be useful for me, but isn't information that you guys necessarily are going to care to sit around waiting for while I'm just yammering. I'm going to talk. Okay, so we got that done. Let's see, so the situation over here, I think I'd like to form Malaya with the opening gambit if possible. But the problem is that I need my diplomatic power, and I need at least a degree of administrative power. I need to get to rank 5 administrative tech ASAP. Another possibility is I could vassal feed. That's always an option for me. The problem with that strategy is that you start out so small as Malaya that there's really not a lot of option to progress rapidly via like vassal feeding and stuff like that. Like even eating vassals one by one is very, very slow. Might as well. But yeah, even doing that is just very slow. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. But I do think that the Renaissance rush was worthwhile. I think that was a good expenditure of resources. Because if you don't get Renaissance, then by the time you hit the year 1500, you just have really painful stuff going on, which is obviously not good. So let's take a look. Let's purge them. Okay. And we now have the ability to get the writer, for instance, which is kind of cool. They're complaining about our lack of piety, so let's lose piety. So we're just kind of sitting around waiting for Hawaii to do its thing. These treasure fleets are quite a substantial revenue stream, but I think that overall the colonization strategy that I did here was not a very good one. I do think that I would want more territory and more coherent states that I can create. Oh shit! How did I get so? Is the maximum not 999 anymore? Oh, the max might actually be adjusted based off of your thinger. Okay, so we have a scholar. We cannot allow anyone to stand in the way of progress. Death to all who oppose us. Okay. And again, we're just sort of waiting on this. Come on, Hawaii. Hurry it up. It's pretty fast. Pretty fast. And I'm pretty sure that Hawaii will be enough on its own to accomplish what we want to accomplish. You'll note that now that we don't have 3 colonies running simultaneously along with a bunch of interest, our finance situation is dramatically better. We basically needed to get out of a debt spiral there, and that was pretty much the only thing that needed to happen. So legitimacy questioned. You might be right, I am completely illegitimate, but that is beside the point. What does that have to do with you? That's not your business. And we've got this colonialism institution. giving us problems. Okay. So Hawaii has become self-sustaining. And now we can send my explorers out. So, Northeast Pacific Coast. Once we get access to one of these, we'll be able to see what we have available to us. Hawaii is definitely the marker here, so we can see what we can get. There we go. So we've got a bunch of coastline here, and it looks like these are too far away. We can't reach them from Hawaii. We can reach Salinan from Hawaii. There we go. We've got it. So this is an important natural harbor, Miwok here. So Miwok, and let's look at the trade region here. The trade here can flow to where? Okay, so I think this flows down to this region down here somewhere and then flows back west. But we found California. So California, I believe, is a very large colonial region as well. In addition, as you can see, we've got down here colonial Mexico. We can get here, and from here utilize this to basically transfer to the other side. It'll improve our ability to explore further, so we can get straight to the Caribbean. So we're going to go through Hawaii. Hawaii is the singular important thing here. As soon as we get access to Hawaii, we get access to California. And with access to California, we get the ability to basically conquer the Aztecs. We get the ability to conquer up north, and we can spread very quickly and hopefully shut down the European colonists. So the goal here is get to Administrative Text 7, or sorry, get to Diplomatic Text 7, and get Renaissance, which is going to involve spending administrative and military technology points. And hopefully, now this is one of the keys. I need to lock down all of my potential rivals in this region before I get Renaissance. So basically, I need to try to figure out an opening gambit that will allow me to utilize, for instance, Siak, to go in against Pasay, and then once I'm in Pasay, take them out, and then go to Brunei, deal with them. If I can deal with those three entities, then this region is just conquest at my leisure. Even now, it's kind of conquest at my leisure, but I want to have a stronger base of operations down here than I have right now. I have to deal with the Ming, because the problem is that if I get slightly too large, Ming immediately rivals me because there's nobody else in the region for them to rival. So as soon as I reach the absolute floor of their rival range, they're immediately going to rival me. So the goal here is, I guess, you're going to need to hop over to Manila ASAP. From Manila, we can hop over to Palau, which is now being colonized by someone else. Who's this? Ternate. So Ternate is someone that we're going to need to take a look at because we don't... These guys here, they colonize, but I'm not sure if we want to let them or not. We'll have to decide. Anyway, so we go to Palau, and then go from Palau to as far east as possible, and then the goal here is to get to Hawaii. And I think we can get to Hawaii reasonably quickly. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. Next time we will have a proper opening gambit follow-up. I think that the initial gambit, just the first war that just conquers all of this, is going very well, but I feel like I needed to actually have the information that I didn't have, which is how do I get to the Americas? And by ignoring Australia because it's actually useless to me and moving through Hawaii, I think we can do it that way. So I will see you guys next time for more conquests. Also, hi, Zach.